It's springtime, and that can only mean one thing. It's time to start another guitar project that I promised myself that I will finish. Except this one, I think I've set the parameters for it that I can make that happen. Hey boys and girls, I'm Nick in the States, and I am in a 3-season room of my house, which is still really messy, so I'm going to be trying conservative with camera angles. Ooh, because guitars before cleanup, obviously, right? So today I got a package in from the guys at Bad Cat Instruments, who, when they sent me the acrylic guitar, we were talking, and they have a whole line of guitar kits out. I said, well, it's been a while since I've given up on a Les Paul kit that I was putting together. Now, I've built a couple before. I built my Bulldog Bodies Les Paul kit, which came out pretty well, but it was early in my guitar journey. So it's not the best player. It looks good from 5 to 10 feet away. And I'll show that. When this is done, we'll do a comparison of what I could do, I don't know how many years ago that was, probably 10, 12 years ago, versus what I can do today. Now this one is your classic, normal, standard looking box. Right there. There's the box. It's a good looking box. That's enough out of you guys in the peanut gallery. Allow me, though, to make this box open like that. Ta-da! This is exactly how it's come to me. There's a guitar. If you remember the Vanna White pictorial years ago, first of all, if you remember Vanna White, you're getting old, like I am. But she had posed for some photos, and it was very much in sheaths just like this. First things first, shipped packed well. If you look, the neck is all wrapped nice in that, in a separate section than the body, and a separate section from all of the copious hardwares that it has come with. So let us first look at the guitar body. And here we go. Look at that. So we can see the nice flame finish to it. We can see the mahogany back. We can see a maple veneer. We can see the binding. Zoom back up. All pre-drilled and set up for all of the magic that we're going to do here. Cool thing is, if you look, the way it's routed to receive the neck and glue the neck in actually comes all the way into the body, and they call it a long neck tenon. And Gibson doesn't do it that way anymore. And if actually you look at, cork sniffer, Japanese guitars, custom shop guitars, things of the like, they'll often advertise the fact that it has a long neck tenon because it's a desired way in manufacture technique. They think that more vibration gets to the body. And this little $200 guitar kit has that same favorite design. Now what it doesn't have is a flame maple top. And if you look here, you can kind of see that the top material wood, while different from the mahogany, doesn't quite look like maple, and I'm not sure what it is. I'll reach out to Shengzi Jia from Bad Cat Guitars and see what he says about that. But overall, the center seam seems pretty tight up the middle. The flame actually looks like it's going to come out very nicely. I don't have any oil or naphtha to put on it to really bring out the grain right now. There's a couple of rough sections you can just kind of see through there. But I'm hoping that with a combination of just a little bit of light sanding and the finishing technique we use won't be bad at all. Overall, pretty good. You can see a little bit of spots where the glue's messy there, but that gets covered by the neck. And there's a little gap there in the cutaway, and that is not uncommon even on finished guitars, especially Chinese finished guitars from that sort of stuff. Let's take a look at the back, shall we? And there is the back. Nice looking wood. One little knot there. Looks like it's 2 pieces joined kind of diagonally, but the route's pretty clean. Pretty clean. And overall, looks really great. I'm pretty impressed with the shape, too. I think the shape is rather accurate for a Les Paul, or at least accurate enough that you're not like, oh my god, it's way off, or it's gross, or I'm missing something here that I don't like. Let's move on to the neck. First impressions of the neck is actually quite nice. I like the pattern of the rosewood. Things you want to look for in the neck, I found, aside from the fact that straight, nice frets, playability, is the grain that's on the rosewood. And this actually has very nice rosewood grain. The routing job for the inlays is Good. You can see black lines around them. It's not the best job, but once again, this is a $200 model. I still think it's going to look good. The headstock has that familiar shape, done pretty accurately. Overall, from a quick look at it, it looks pretty accurate to the shape that we'd want. The other thing is, compared to the pictures on their site, this is a more Gibson style truss rod hole, and there might be just enough material there if you wanted to put a Gibson truss rod cover there. If you're so inclined, you might be able to do so and still screw into something, or at least you're not going to see holes on each end of the screw. Let's flip her over. Now this is where things got a little surprising. We'll come down first. Ooh. Very nice, very nice. Now, unlike a Gibson, where Gibson actually has ears, which is a thin piece of wood on each side that kind of glues in to make up the headstocks. The headstock itself is 3 pieces of wood. It's one piece. But if you look on inexpensive guitars, there's often a scarf joint going somewhere around here so they can use less wood. And this doesn't have it. What it does have is a 2-piece heel where there's a little bit of extra wood that's glued on here to kind of make the heel be thicker, and it goes all the way across here. Not the biggest deal, you don't notice it. I'd prefer a 2-piece heel to the scarf joint. Neither of which affects tone, really, that anybody will say that way. But it's just one of those aesthetic things that may jump out at you. But overall, pretty impressive quality. The size is very much, it's pretty slim actually. The fretboard top edge is rolled nicely though already. Like it feels nice in the hand. It's not a huge neck though. It is a very slim neck. You can kind of see if you look at the binding here. Binding's nice. You can see how the top edge has been rolled. It's a little dirty in places, and I'm going to clean that up as we do the project. Oh no, really not that bad. It's not even all that dirty. Oh no, we're focusing. There we go. The nut is I'll have to check the nut material. The nut might be it looks like it's a plastic nut. Not horrendous. Maybe the nut fit and finish could be a little bit better, but I'm not scared of that. Not get it? Overall, that's not bad. Plenty there to work with, the carve down and sand down. It's a huge nut as it is right now. So we'll do a little bit of work to get that be perfect. But overall, it's pretty good. Now, included in the kit was a full set of hardware, including, look at that, the Gibson style truss rod cover, the poker chip, all of your tuners, your pegs, your pickups, your wiring, all that sort of stuff. Black Gibson style speed knobs, pickguard, the back plate, handy dandy cable, another cover, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's the kit right now. Out of box experience. All in all, pretty darn impressive. A worthy starting point. Now, what are we going to do with it? Pretty simple process, and I'm going to lay out on the ground right now all of the different parts that are going to bring together the vision. Now here's everything that I've bought to put this together. And sitting on the floor there's about $200 worth of items, but that's with some caveats. Let's start with finishing. We're going to do the top in a nitrocellulose lacquer spray from Colortone, the guys at StuMac. It's a vintage amber, so it's going to look like a slash AFD. I also have some Colortone grain filler. When you're doing mahogany, you want to fill the grain so that way you'll get a smooth finish in the easiest way possible, and we'll talk more about that in the finishing video. I have a couple packs of different density sandpaper. That way we can kind of clean everything up, make it all pretty. When it comes to finishing, preparation is key to the final finish. You can't rush into it or else you'll get something that, it'll work, it'll be fine, everything will be great, but you'll end up going back and fixing a lot of things if you don't fix them early. I've got some microfiber cloths for applying the finish to it. Some lemon oil conditioner because every neck needs lemon oil. Although this one isn't as dry as a lot that I've gotten from China. It actually looks really good. Titebond 2 to glue in the neck. And some wipe-on poly that I'm going to use instead of doing a clear satin finish. So not a crazy gloss, but a clear satin overall finish. And the goal of this whole project really is to put everything together in a way that is the most manageable. My last guitar I did a nitrocellulose finish on it with clear coat and everything, and it takes like a month to cure. it's just a tremendous amount of work. And then if, say, you sand through the finish, you're now another month out. It's just frustrating. So this is kind of a good rational way to put together a guitar. And this will be like a Slash one. And what I've done is, the only two things I'm going to swap from what's in the box is just because I have them. I have a set of Grovers that I took off of something, so I'm going to use those instead of the ones that came with it. Not to knock them. I imagine they're fine tuners and they'll tune, but I wanted to keep those. I just want to go to Grovers because I don't want to put in another set to have it be complete stock and then switch to Grovers and have the holes not line up for the locking screw. So I don't want extra holes on it. And then the other thing is I've had these Iron Gear Tesla Sharks, which are a Alnico 2 Slash style pickup, for a good number of years. And I figured this will be the project where they actually get in something and sound quite nice. So yeah, that is everything we're going to do on this. Next step is to go and glue in the neck, start that, and then start doing some of the sanding and finishing and grain filling stuff. So all of that will be coming soon. So stay tuned. This will probably be a 3 or 4 part series going through the process of gluing it up, finishing the guitar, wiring it up, and some nice play demos, and to see how this kit and how just the experience of finishing a guitar and huge expectations and the realities of it. The final video too, what I love to do is take this, compare it to the last one of these I made, which was quite a few years ago, and also compare it to like a real Les Paul, for both tonally and feel, with a couple other maybe discerning players playing with it, because I think it'll make everybody appreciate, including myself. We trash some of the Far East guitars new as they come in, or any guitars tune, say, oh, it's got this issue, this isn't perfect. When you make one yourself, you realize, Jeep, man, it's a lot of work, and it's really hard to get anything perfect. There will always be flaws. So come along on this journey and see what flaws we put in this one. I'm really looking forward to this one. As always, folks, I've been Nick in the States. Yes, indeed, I have issues. It's been a pleasure sharing them with you. Take care.
Check out some of these videos, and so when you click subscribe button, I'm going to ask you to go to music class. Yeah, I'm going to ask you to go to music class.
Ninja class!